Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Well, we're very happy to be celebrating the Prakash Purnab, the birthday of the founder of the Sikh faith, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji came to this world just over 500 years ago, and he came to share a message of peace and of the oneness of all humanity. He taught a very basic and simple principle of Ek Onkar. He said there's one creator who created this creation, and that everyone is created equally. And he shared that message of truth, of kindness, of acceptance. And he traveled thousands upon thousands of miles through India, through the Middle East, through China. We don't even know how far he traveled to spread that simple message of truth and true understanding. And the concept of Satanam, that the true identity of the self was in the vibration of the Nam, the vibration of the name, that name of that who created this creation, and to find it deep within ourselves. Guru Nanak Dev Ji taught that God, that creator, that creatoress, didn't live outside of us, and we had to find it and search for that. He said that creator lives inside of you, inside of each of us, and that every person can experience the light, the jyot of that God, of that light, of that creator. And that jyot within us, that light, is the same light that exists within that who created this creation. Jat mein jyot, jyot mein jat. He said that God's light is within us, but we are also in the light of that who created us. So he taught there was no separation, there was no duality. There was no separation between ourselves and that who created us, and that every human being, every person, can experience that jyot, that light within themselves. And he taught that simply by meditating on God, simply by reciting the name of God, vibrating the body, the Shabad, that we could experience that sense of our own enlightenment. And he said that everyone was born enlightened, that we don't have to search for enlightenment. He said everyone is born enlightened, but he said we don't believe it. We don't trust it to be true within ourselves. And as we go through this time of understanding the depth of the beauty of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings, because he came not to create religion, he came to create a way of life with very simple principles of understanding. He said, Kirit Karo, he said, work hard, be part of this society, live in this society, have families, raise families. But he said, remember that always everything comes from that who created us, that we don't own anything. So one was to understand that, to live in the society, but never forget who created us. The second we call Vanchak, he said, share what you have with others. Share what you have. Don't hold on to it. Because we know that the law of the universe is those who give shall always receive. And the third aspect, he said, Nam Simran, he said, meditate. Meditate. Vibrate the Nam, vibrate meditation. Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru. Let that sound current vibrate within you, so that you're always in focus and clarity. And keep that clarity. And that sense of understanding of what Guru Nanak Dev Ji brought, of honesty, of truth, of truthful living, of understanding what that meant to live truthfully, to be in one's own heart and soul. And he said, see the light that lives in the heart of everyone. See that light, see that jyot in everyone's heart. And it reminds us as we celebrate the birthday of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that we have in a sense that responsibility to live that purity. Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't just come to teach us a philosophy of life. My belief is he came to teach us a way of living, a lifestyle. Of those three aspects of working hard, of sharing what we have, and meditate on God's name. That spiritual practice was so important. And he said, rise in the early morning. Amrit Veda Sachinavadiyai Vichar, Kadmi Ave Kapara Nadri Mokaduar. He said, rise and the sun is rising. Amrit Veda, at that time of the rising of the sun. And rise before the sun rises, so as we're sitting there meditating, doing pat, reading our scriptures, then we rise as that sun rises. And at that time is a quiet time that gives us the inner stillness to understand what is our day to become. So he gave a very simple way to live, to practice, a simple devotion that was for everyone, every person, to understand that. And he gave us the base of that understanding in Mul Mantar. He said in Mul Mantar, Ekonkar Satanam Kartapurk, Nirbo Nirvera Kalmurit, Ajuni Saiban Gurprasad Japa, Ad Satcha, Jugad Satcha, Hebi Satcha, Nanak Hosi Be Satcha. He said there's one God who created all creation, whose name, vibration of that, vibrated in the truth of the soul, Satanam. Ekonkar Satanam Kartapurk, he said Kartapurk is the doer of everything, that we don't do things. We're not in control, that Kartapurk is the doer of everything. He said, have no fear, Nirbon, Nirvert, be against no one. Just as that who created us is not against anyone, we should not be against anyone. We should not live in any fear of any kind. That we should hold strength to our spiritual values. A call to murder, then that brings that deathlessness, that understanding of dying while yet alive, being liberated while we're still alive, to understand that, to experience all the beauty of this life. Ekonkar Satanam Kartapurk Nirbo Nirve Akal Murtajuni. And that he said that who created us has no form, but is everywhere, in every form. He said that is the beauty of this life, to understand that we're never separated from that who created us. He said then that blessing, Guru Prasad, he said, then the blessing of that is given to us. Then we feel that blessing, Guru Prasad. He says, how do we achieve it? Jap, meditate. Meditate. And he gave us the most beautiful universal teaching, Ad is Satcha, Jugad is Satcha, Hebi Satcha, Nanak, Hosi be Satcha. Ad means primal or first. He said, and the beginning of that time as this creation was being created, that the vibration of that creation lied in the truth. In the true vibration, in that sound current, Anahad, that sound current was vibrating. Ad is such, that truth, that true understanding was created at the beginning of time, that we should live on that path of truth. Jugad such, Juga means the ages. And he said through all those four major ages, through all the ages, it didn't change, it was the same. That through all the ages that truth still prevailed, that truth still existed within everything. Hebi Satcha, he said, today is the same. This moment of time is no different. No different. Nanak Hosi be Satch, he said, and Nanak said, forever that shall be true. Forever that shall be true. In this exact moment of our existence, that is true. But he gave us this Mul Mantra, gave this understanding so that we would live it to understand the graciousness of every human being. And to see the graciousness of every human being. And he held that so humbly within himself, so humbly. He said, if I could just touch the dust of the dust of the dust of the feet of those who are walking this spiritual pathway, chanting God's name. He said, then just the dust of the dust of the dust, if I could just have that blessing. And he shared that humility so that we could understand that today, to do that seva, to do that service, to help others, to share with others. And Satsangachi, in this time of great change, of this Kali Yuga, of this darker age, of great change, of a time when the world, we don't know what the future of this world is, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message is even that much stronger to the world. That much stronger to the world, that we should share Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message of peace to this world, of peaceful understanding, of a peaceful way of coexisting. Not that we should be against each other, not that we should see what is different with each other, but to see the same of each other, that we all breathe. I have eyes to see, you have eyes to see. I have a heart that beats, you have a heart that beats. He said, why should we see there's a difference in that? Because we were all created by one Creator who created each of us. And he brought this message at that time of the darkness of this planet. He brought the light. He brought a light teaching that each of us, any person, no matter who that person is, can accept and understand. And he said, through the vibration of that sound current, of that Nam, of that vibration of the self, one can find that true peace of self. And share that message of peace to everyone. As one candle lights another candle, Guru Nanak Dev Ji lit a candle for all humanity to share. So Satsangat Ji, let us share this most beautiful jyot, this most beautiful light to everyone. Let us become that light within ourselves, share that light, and help humanity heal. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was brought to this planet a short period of time ago, only just over 550 years ago, to share that message of peace, of kindness, of tolerance, of acceptance, of compassion, of kindness. To see everyone equally, regardless of color, caste, creed, gender, religion, faith, belief, preference, that everyone, every person, and to honor this Mother Earth and everything within this Mother Earth, to honor that. And he gave us that honoring to understand the strength of this breath of life. Pavan Guru, Pani Pitta, Matta Dharta Mahatta. He said, Pavan Guru, Pavan means that air that we breathe, that breath that exists within us, that pran, that pranic energy that exists within us. Pavan Guru, he says, that's the Guru, that's the light. Because without that breath, there's no life to live. So he says, Pavan Guru. Guru means that which takes us from the darkness to the light. He said, understand that comes from our breath. So connect into your breath. We are prani, we are people that live by the breath. Pani Pitta, he said, that water is the Father. That water, as that Father, gives the sustenance. Matta Dharta Mahatta, and the Mother is this earth. This Mother is the creator of all creation. That there's no person who has not been born from that Mother. And to honor that Mother and to honor this Mother Earth. Because without that we have no creation, we have nothing. So Satsangat Ji, a very beautiful message of the light of Guru Nanak Dev Ji to spread to this world, and let us be instruments to spread that message of peace. And to look at ourselves, evaluate that within ourselves, to understand the depth of what Guru Nanak Dev Ji brought to this world. Not just for, you could say, people of a sick faith, but that we are all seekers. And he said, everyone is a seeker of the truth. Everyone is a seeker of that light. And every person is a seeker of truth. So let us live in that consciousness. Let us live into that awareness as we celebrate Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday, to remind us that one person, we don't know how he came, brought such a beautiful message to this world of a oneness, of a truth, of a depth of self-understanding, to enlighten the entire world, to usher an age of peace that shall come through these generations, shall come. Let us embrace that heart and love and light within our own being. Let us become instruments of that light. And let us share that light to the world. I knew it when I first started to understand and I became part of the Sikh faith. And I studied Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings. I knew at that point that I would spend my life sending that message of universal truth. That even as I had to process whatever I have to process and continually process within myself, that I would never stop sharing Guru Nanak Dev's teachings to the world as best I can do, as a simple instrument of the light of all existence. So let us share that together and join together, because that is what will bring peace to this world. War will not bring peace. The collective consciousness of those who are consciously sharing messages of peace and oneness and truth shall bring peace to this world. And let us live in those peaceful environments, meditate on God's name, vibrate it deep in our heart, share what we have with each other, and we can all help to create a better world, a healed world, and a world of peace, prosperity, and abundance for everyone, for all people, for everyone. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.